Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon.
यहाँ पे एक बड़ा सा बेड जिस पे तुम खुल के सो सकते हो। यहाँ पर ना सोफा जैसा तुम चाहते हो,
लेकिन कलर ब्लू वाला जैसा तुम्हें पसंद है।
खाली दीवारों को घर कैसे बनाएं और बाकी सब के लिए हम है ना श्रीराम हाउसिंग फाइनेंस।
श्रीराम ट्रांसपोर्ट फाइनेंस, जैसी आपकी जरूरतें वैसी हमारी फाइनेंस।
Presenting Shriram Life Genius Assured Benefit Plan.
Before we get into the final episode of Mr. Tyagarajan's interview, I thought we should share the experience and the encomiums, what they say about Mr. Tyagarajan, his own colleagues and partners. I thought that will be a great acknowledgement of the qualities, even though Mr. Tyagarajan says everything is because of genes and it is there in the system. So let's hear the managing directors, the partners. They might have joined as a management trainee, there's somebody who would have joined as a collection assistant. From there, they have grown to this position. Enjoy the travel.
I joined this organization in 2002 because I was in the board of integrated enterprises where Mr. Arti was also there. During that association that he asked me was to join in the Shriram group, then I joined. So my association with the Shriram group is, the relationship with the Shriram group is excellent. Personally, I like Arti very much. Arti is a very great personality and a very intelligent person and very simple. One good thing about R. Tyagarajan is that he created this organization under the partnership concept. So right from the beginning that he informed all the people that they are all partners. So and he shared the wealth along with all the 30 people. So by that way, the partnership is created with all the 30 people. With that is why the organization is now so strong and everybody in the organization feels that it is their own organization. And today's growth is on account of that partnership mentality among the people.
I first met RT in 1991, in October or November. We were meeting him for the first time. He used to do a monthly review of the chit fund business at that point of time. While discussing about expansion, he gave one advice. Please remember that anything that grows fast is a weed and not a plant, and we have to be very careful in expanding financial services business, and in money lending you cannot expand rapidly. You have to have a very calibrated approach to money lending is what is the first advice that he gave us. And he was always insisting on building teams. He said, don't run after growth, run after people, build teams, and the teams will build business. These are the two takeaways that I have, very strong takeaways I have had from my interactions with RT. Also, over a course of time, his philosophy, his thought process has influenced me in the way I work, in the way I interact with people, not only in the office, but in my personal life too.
There are several things to learn and admire. One thing which comes to my mind on top of it is the ability to identify talent, strength in people. This has multiple advantages. One, the team working around him, working to their strength. Thereby they are relaxed, working charged in a very positive frame of mind. Two, a team which is built which is complementing strength. Here, an organization is focusing on people's strength rather than on the weakness of what we can't do, what we won't do. This is one important characteristics which difficult to, as human we always looking for blaming someone, finding out what others can't do and what others can short of. RT is one big strength of positive energy. This is something I would love to learn, practice my lifetime.
As I was driving through empty road of Mumbai in one of these days,
I recollected an old incident wherein we all had come to Chennai for a conference, and in just previous day, Bandh was called and our conference was postponed by a day. But he called in the early morning and told Umesh, I'll come and pick you, we'll discuss business. And we traveled through empty road to your office and discussed about business. And you also explained about the concept of business, concept of partnership. I still remember those words. The way you communicated to us, your simplicity, your accessibility, the illustration given by you still is very strong in my memory. I have tried to practice it. I'm not sure how good I am at it, but it still keeps helping me whenever I come across some challenging situation.
Arti sir, I know him for more than 30 years and I have learned a lot from him, and personally for me, he is one of the role models in my life. If you look at the greatest qualities I have seen in Arti sir is very simple person. He is also easily accessible over phone. Although he doesn't have mobile or anything, but still he is the most simple person I have seen. Another point which I have greatly always admired is fitness level. Both his physical fitness which he maintains and also his alertness of mind, which I believe is exceptional. The high clarity of thinking on any subject we discuss with him, whether it is on business, whether it is on analyzing another human being or social subjects or any other subjects. Very highlighting point about Arti sir is the vision on business. Just simple example I like to quote is how we transited from chit business transition to, he was suggesting some 20 years back how to move into retail loan company. And finally the SCUF is born, and the SCUF has done great numbers which everyone is aware of it. And the skill of analyzing the data and numbers is something which amazes even me. In fact, maybe it may be coming it naturally for him. I think maybe it is because he is a statistician. He is an unbelievable skill of numbers and data. To conclude in a sentence, I will say he is a living example of a great human being, and he is an inspiration for a lot of people.
I come from a family of teachers from a very small town called Pudukkottai. But my dream and desire was always to become an entrepreneur. I do not know what made Mr. Tyagarajan to find the entrepreneurship ability in me or capabilities in me. Still, I am not able to find a proper reason on that, because when I met him, I was just 28. I haven't done big business. What I had is my dream, desire to achieve something big in life. He could spot not only me, quite a lot of people across. He has the unique ability to spot the entrepreneurial ability with someone. Mr. Tyagarajan is father figure to me, because I do not inherit any business community. All that today in business today, for me, I owe to Mr. Tyagarajan due to several aspects. The empowerment. I don't think anybody, if at all, we need to look at in the dictionary meaning of empowerment. I would put Mr. Tyagarajan as the meaning for the empowerment. The trust, if at all, you need to look at the right meaning for the trust, Mr. Tyagarajan. The way he trusts the partner, he always calls me a partner. The moment he identifies the right entrepreneur as per his framework, thereafter the trust and faith he reposes. In fact, it puts you into much bigger responsibility. It's not going to be easy because of the trust and faith what he is posing on you. The second one is most critical one. We started in a very small scale today, grown to be one of the largest top 10 real estate developers in the country. When you create wealth, can you be humble? He always taught the right balance between the responsibility of being a wealth creator and being humble and being content. And despite whatever you are in the society, despite whatever the positions you are in the society, can you be the same person? That's very difficult for every successful entrepreneur, because a lot of people, success goes into their head, or fame goes into their head, or wealth goes into their head. In this process they spoil. But this is the biggest learning. Every entrepreneur, every businessman has to adopt from Mr. Tyagarajan this rare quality. Wealth creation is a responsibility, but you are not supposed to be the owner of all that wealth. I owe everything to Mr. Tyagarajan, whatever we are today. This organization has been built, Shriram Properties has been built on only one fundamental character, is the values, principles, governance, compliance. The growth has been possible just because the faith and trust, the empowerment what Mr. Tyagarajan has given to me particularly.
To appreciate the need for insurance, a person should have the ability to imagine something in the future. It's not given to everybody to be in a position to imagine the future. What you see in front of you is the present. The present is dominating your mind all the time. To move away from the present and imagine what is going to be there at the end of 5 years, at the end of 10 years.
It can't give paranoia for somebody.
The right is a healthy kind of paranoia is okay.
That's what
You may think that I will die. I can die suddenly. I can go in a car and meet with an accident and die. You should be able to see that. A risk-aware person,
that's what it's coming.
a risk-aware person is able to see that. Nobody tells him that you should be able to see it, you should be sure. It is natural for him. In a way, I have been a risk-aware person. I see things going wrong automatically. Nobody has told me that you have to look into it. Now, because I had studied probability, I should look at probability of my suddenly something, the fan. In fact, when I lie down under a ceiling fan, I think if the fan falls on my head, what will happen? So I move a head a bit here. To that extent, I am sensitive. It's not because I studied probability at the Statistical Institute. Even before that, that's the personality. So ultimately, some people are more risk aware than others. Some people are intensely risk aware than some other people. In fact, I was told by about a friend of ours that he has been told by somebody that he will die if he gets out of his bed on Thursdays. So on Thursdays, he stays only in the bed from morning to next day morning. To that extent, he is risk aware. He perceives that risk because he has faith in the person who had told him that if he gets out of his bed, he will be dying. So to that extent, he is risk aware. But most of the people just don't bother. And it is a bit difficult. When they see something, probably they become aware of risk a bit more. There is a smasana vairagyam or something like that, they would say, no. When you go and participate, then suddenly you feel, then you start saying that everything is very uncertain in this world, but that lasts only for a few minutes, then you come back and then you start living in present. The ability to live in the future, the ability to see the future is not given to everybody. It's again a personality. Under these circumstances, how do you sell insurance? How do you make people? Yes, it requires effort. It requires a team of people who will put that, including pressurizing that person. It is not merely by stimulating their imagination, making them see the future, combined with some kind of a friendly pressure, pestering kind of a thing. That has to be done in order to make people aware of insurance. And that is where I was interesting. There is Tamil writer, you would not have heard about it in those days, 1940s, and Anand Venkatan, there was one SVV.
I heard of SVV.
SVV was a lawyer who used to write some humorous things in the Hindu or something like that. So Mr. Kalki and Vasan went to him and said, why don't you write in Tamil? Then he started writing some. I thought it was a very interesting thing which I read, a small story which I communicated to our people here. It talks about a lawyer who goes to the court every day. His friend is an life insurance agent. So he comes and pesters him to take some life insurance. He said, I don't want any life insurance, I will not take it. But he is a very persistent fellow, he is harassing him. So he wanted to get rid of this fellow. So he said, okay, he had bought a car. He said, come with me, I will go in a car. So he and his friend who was pestering him, they went in a car. Once they reached about 10 kilometers outside the city, he said, we'll stop the car for some time. Both of them got down. Then he told his driver, no, let us move, we'll leave the fellow behind. We'll go back to the town. This fellow was shouting, you are going, but then he came back. He was left stranded. His friend was left stranded. Then this man thought, yes, this I have now taught him a lesson, he will not come and pester me anymore. After a few days, he saw when he was coming back from the court, he saw this fellow coming out from his house. His house. Why should he be coming out? And he was wondering. Then his wife told him, look, we need life insurance. Something can happen to you, then what will happen to this? I think life insurance is very necessary. your friend had been talking to me about this. Why don't you take life insurance? Then he is forced to take life insurance. And he ends it saying, okay, ultimately taken everything together, life insurance is good for me. His ability to see, he was not so much concerned about the future of his children as his wife was.
Okay, that's also.
So the lesson I was trying to communicate to our people was that instead of talking to
target
the
audience is somebody
householder,
else.
you talk to the mother, you talk to the wife, because they are concerned. I see that happening. I see the household worker who draws hardly 3,000, 4,000 rupees salary. She is spending money in order to educate her children in an English medium school. Because they are so concerned about the welfare of their children. Men, if they have money, they go to your taskmark or something, then if something is left over, then it will go for the education. But women by and large are concerned about the future of their children. Therefore, they will think of what will happen if this fellow who is earning something at least, if he is not around. So they will be receptive to the idea of going in for life insurance. So I said focus and communicate somehow with the mother, the wife, rather than with the man. In addition, of course, the man still is a nuisance. So you have to talk to him also, but his ego also is very important. But then the focus in terms of convincing a person about the need for insurance has to be addressed, the efforts will have to be addressed at the woman in the household.
But you, in the industries, you have been always saying, a lot of, the latest Vizag plant getting into environment problem with burst and so many losses have come. You are saying that the CEOs or the promoters not aware of all these issues. And
There are, you see, first of all, the insurance company people themselves are not aware of risk. That's the problem. If they are, they think purely in terms of premium to be collected, promotion, profit that is to be made. They should look at what will go wrong with the customer. They don't know. The risk awareness is the worst thing, in the worst component of our own sales people are the people in the insurance industry. They only talk about how much of premium you have to pay and how much of commission you will get. They don't talk to them as to what could happen to your, because they don't focus on that. They are not focusing on risk. The insurance man is not focusing on risk, and therefore his customer is not focusing on risk.
so it starts from
It has to start from there.
home, right? Sir, this very important point, risk, whatever you are saying now. You used to always say in any organization, 2-3 MDs should be there, and also separately one of the MDs should look at the risk manager. He is the risk manager. So you will not blame anybody. Anything fall comes, you will say blame it on risk manager. So now whatever you have been saying, now all the banks have a committee. There is a risk manager, there is a credit, there is this.
You see,
it is getting spoiled there. No, this making becomes very.
You see, by putting a man as the general manager risk management, you don't create a person who is risk aware. You take somebody has to be promoted as general manager's position. The vacancy is only in the risk management area. So you are putting him there. It's like the insurance company fellows, they call him a chief underwriter. The fellow has no idea whatsoever about what underwriting is. But because he is the senior most person to be promoted, and the only vacancy that is available is general manager underwriting, so you put him there. In this, even Mudikam and doesn't take place in any organization. The senior most person who has to be somehow provided a slot, he goes to a particular place, it is vacant, that's all. That is why things are being managed badly in all government organizations. They don't think that it is important at all. They are not aware of it. The culture doesn't make them think. There are exceptions once again. There are people who are naturally very clever, intelligent and wise. I would say it's more than intelligence. It is wisdom. I have seen government servants being very shrewd, and there are people who practice at all in a limited area to the extent that they can influence their environment, they do. But mostly it's not there.
The last question is, what you would like to convey to the current generation who is facing this COVID? Everybody is mentally disturbed. You always say Sivan Kadami, even though you don't believe in Sivan.
No, what I tell my colleagues is, only people who are beyond the age of 60, they need be concerned about this coronavirus. Because if they get infected, there is 5 out of 100 may die. But if it's not a high percentage. If they don't get this, in the next 1 year, they will get another influenza or something like that. 3 of them will die in any case. The extra person who is going to die because of corona is only 2 out of 100. So the risk they are running of dying because of corona is only 2 out of 100. This is for the elderly people. For the younger people, there is nothing at all for them to fear, because even if they get that infection, it's only 3 days or 4 days they will be incapacitated, that's all. Mortality rate is extremely low. If mortality still takes place, I always talk about people who very young people looking absolutely healthy, as it happened in your own family.
Sure.
A person suddenly just like that dying also happens. You have to take into account all those things. That's why what they look at is, when they look at the impact of the coronavirus, they say in the last 6 months, how many people died? Not corona, how many people died? And in the previous 6 months, how many people died in a community? Whether the number of deaths that are taking place in that community, whether it has gone up significantly, only that alone is attributable to corona.
So one is the health side.
Because I was told, and the economists had written in the early stages of corona, that in the United States every year about 1 lakh or 1 million people are dying out of ordinary influenza.
Yeah, I remember that. So now what I was asking you a question is, now that is as a health reason, whatever you are saying.
Today they are all afraid of corona, in my opinion, youngsters, etc., because they find a very good excuse for sleeping at or sitting at home and watching television and things like that.
No, sir.
They like it.
No,
It is not as if they are scared or anything like that. No. In fact, I also feel that it's very nice. You are orderly in Denso or something like that. You deliver things which you have not eaten before in your life, you start eating now. So it is nice. So everyone wants to be there.
Even last night I got a call from a very, very successful agent of our company. He was talking to me for 1 hour, as you used to say, at least give somebody a patient hearing. That's what we listened and we learned from you. He is asking what is going to be the future, sir, whether these businesses will have the similar thing. I've been earning, I've been very, very correct in putting my money in properties, rental. No, rentals are not coming now. My business has come down. I'm really worried about the future. So they're all, psyche is really bothering them. What is going to be their future? I said, again, you will find new methods to...
See, if you analyze it, Venkatramani, it is because of the reaction of the general public to corona. It is not corona created. It is the way we have reacted to corona that is creating all this problem. If we had not had your lockdown and all that, the way it has been managed today, economy would not have been hurt at all.
That's what I was trying to...
That's the point. Corona is not the problem. The reaction to the corona, the irrational, foolish, idiotic reaction, saying that it's a very great fight we are going, it's a war we are going to, all kinds of things have been talked about. When it was a trivial thing, it should have been treated as a triviality. But it has been glorified by some people as if it's a big war which we are going to fight and all that. Then that had spread all over the place. So what is the problem today facing your friend about rents going down, everything going down, has been created by the reaction of the government, of the people, of the media, all of them influenced by the government in reacting to the corona the way we reacted to it. We should have gone about our jobs as usual. We should have gone today, for the last 4 months, public transport is not there at all. Why? What is the problem? If only younger people are traveling by bus, and let them get your virus, they will be there. Are we not getting cold? Are we not getting out of cold? Are we not infecting everybody around when we are in cold? In fact, in this room, when somebody is having a cold, I keep the windows open, still I am getting the cold also. But we are getting out of it. I may die also even by cold. It could be influenza. At my age, I could die. That possibility always exists. A ceiling fan may fall on your head. The hysterical reaction to corona on the part of the entire population, which was created by, I would say, by the authorities, creating this kind of an, I would say, panic among people, that is responsible for the economic damage. The economy has been damaged. It could be, one could see right from the beginning the way it was being managed. One could see that the wealth creation is going to drop by at least 15% this year. They are talking about 8%, 9%. I have been talking about, when I talked about the wealth creation coming down by 5%, they were talking about 2%. They moved to 5%. I have moved to 10%. Now they are nearing the 10%. I am now moving to 15%. Because minus 15. Still they are not doing anything. That's the problem. Nobody is doing anything about it. The seriousness of the situation, because it is affecting the poor people, they are not concerned. We are all getting our Dunzos happily. Dunzo is delivering everything. Well-to-do people like you and me are quite absolutely okay. So who should we care about the people who are dying every day? The concern is not there. Public transport, the activities, all of them should have been started in full earnest at least 3 months back. There could have been a 1 week's lockdown to make people aware that this will spread. Beyond that, nothing was needed. Very tragic.
Thank you very much, sir. So I think whatever you said, the genetics as well as the inspiration can be a combination which can make people to perform at a particular scale. And as we said, it's about 5 to 6% and 94% of any company.
In a way, உன் தலையெழுத்துப்படி நடக்கும்னு சொல்கிறேன்.
So you tend to become a fatalist or what?
But that good things also happen because of that. Be happy about it, that's all.
Yeah.
Don't think that it could have been done in a different way.
In that sense, you also say when the pressure is on the job, you always say you try. Next time you try. That's where you always say.
Or try something else.
Try something else. So just don't be worried about it. So it was a great sharing of your experience for the youngsters or the younger generation. Thank
If you don't do well, your colleague will do very well. So it is okay. No, why should you do things well?
So nice of Sri R. Tyagarajan, Shriram Group Chairman. Actually, he didn't want me to introduce him as Padma Bhushan, but most of you know he is a Padma Bhushan awarded by the Government of India.
Then,
Yeah.
it was not awarded. It was managed by our Murali. These things don't happen just like that. Somebody works for it. That's why I don't have respect for these things at all.
I think even whether it is managed or recommended, that is where the most important point is people should not get unnoticed, and that is being brought down to the. I think this is a great job done by, if at all, by somebody Murali or somebody in our organization. I think we need to even why this interview. I think it should go into archives of Shriram Group so that we will have some kind of a. I would say even if it can trigger some 5%, 6% of our group or the public at large, it's going to be a great contribution by RT. We call him affectionately as RT sir. So thank you, Mr. Tyagarajan sir, and the channel is so blessed to have your briefing today. Thank you very much. Good luck to all of you.